Still pending before the lower house is the proposed Bangsamoro Basic Law. But with plenary deliberations concluded, there is optimism that it will be approved when Congress resumes session in January next year. Again, here's Freddie Abando with the full details.
The termination of debates for the draft basic law on the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region has raised the optimism of the Moro Islamic Liberation Front for its approval by the House when sessions resume in mid-January. It's been a long wait after weeks of uncertainty due to the lack of a quorum for debates to prosper.
We are not doubting the determination of the President and, of course, the leadership of both houses, the Senate and the House of Representatives, and, of course, the supporters of the BBL, congressmen and congresswomen, that finally there would be BBL. That's our hope. Peacemaking is moving forward, and that would include the BBL. And then violence or prostration would go down. But if peacemaking is going down, including the BBL, then prostration would go up. And that would be good for the radicals because they can face the lead. So, it's not really seeing the future is not very, very bright for us if there is no real peace in Manila, especially the passage of the BBL in Congress.
The draft law is scheduled for approval on second reading to be followed by amendments before it's approved on third reading. The House Ad Hoc Committee in the Bangsamoro, chaired by Congressman Rufus Rodriguez, deleted 40 provisions from the original draft Bangsamoro Basic Law submitted by the Palace to Congress last year for its consideration. These provisions face the possible challenge of constitutionality. The MILF appealed to restore 28 provisions, but was rejected by the Rodriguez Committee. For one, the court territories will be called Bangsamoro Entity. The amendment was Bangsamoro Autonomous Region. The said provision was questioned by Buhay Party List Congressman Lito Atienza.
Yung paggamit ng Moro, naintindihan po natin yan. Tama lang. At sinasang-ayunan po ng lahat ng ating mga kababayan yan. Bahagi ng ating pagbibigay galang sa kanilang katauhan. At yun ang tamang kataga sa pagbibigay galang natin sa kanila. Pero yung bansa, ano man ang ating sabihin, ano man ang pagpapaliwanag natin, ang pahiwatig niyan, distinguished sponsor, is that we are allowing the formation of a country in Mindanao. And this is where one of the main contention in the public mind is clearly, they are really part because they are within the Constitution, they are within the national sovereignty of one state, and they are within the territorial integrity of the Republic of the Philippines. But if the distinguished colleague in the period of amendments would wish to propose that, then that can be given to the entire plenary to make its decision.
House Minority Leader Ronaldo Zamora said it may be wise for the House leadership to call for a caucus of the House to settle the contentious issues that could hamper the approval of the measure. Since only 9 session days remain in the calendar of the House to ensure its passage, another major hurdle, the Senate may not approve the measure. It's a tough challenge. Some still see the possibility of the next administration and the 17th Congress to push for the passage of the draft law to implement the peace agreement. Concern was raised by Sulu Congressman Tupay Luong that non-passage may spoil the peace agreement by young radical Muslim rebels to launch a new bid for Muslim independence.
I hope that when we come back and revisit that, keeping in mind that we still have 3 session weeks to go, walang mangyayari dyan kung hindi nila pakikinggan yung mga sinasabi namin. At marami kami sinasabi, at do not forget that we were the first to oppose this opt-in provision. We were the first to talk about how the plebiscites will not be fair because you end up with a patchwork of different jurisdictions, and we have shown maps to prove this. We have shown that the budgets that are being allotted are unrealistic.
If the concept, if the idea, or if the timeline of the administration is that this bill will become a law, signed and implemented before the president steps down, that'll be very impossible to accomplish. There's no way. Realistically, this would be a good starting point for the next Congress. No? It's so unlike now where we started from scratch. You know, when the next Congress convenes, there will be a lot of materials available to them. They can start deliberation very, very early enough, and they have the entire 3 years to approve that. No?
Question to Chairman Iqbal, we want to prevent the young people, particularly Muslim, will participate in the radical movement, and that's why I think it is better for all of us members of Congress to cooperate and pass this BBL so that we can prevent this kind of situation. This radical group will not be successful.
For the People's Television Network, this is Freddie Abando reporting.